Gabe Corchiani was recently named one of the top 50 players in Privateer men's basketball history. A member of the Privateers from 1984 to 88, Corchiani reflected on his time at the University of New Orleans when Privateer basketball was continuing to gain national recognition with an NCAA tournament appearance in 1987.
At that time, the draw at UNO for the games, attendance was phenomenal. The arena was probably about 4 years old out there, Lakefront Arena, and people wouldn't believe, but it was packed. That whole arena would be filled. There'd be traffic all up and down Leon C. Simon and Robert E. Lee, and it was a great feel. We played a bunch of great, talented teams, and we'd play, and we generally that year we would win. There was just a great atmosphere at the arena. We were winning. There wasn't really another basketball team in town. Tulane, had lost their program. The Pelicans or the Hornets weren't here. We beat LSU that year. It was just, a great season.
Going into the BYU game at Alabama, it was played in Birmingham. It was exciting because there's people in the stands. We've never played, UNO's teams have never played before that many people before. And for us to beat that team was, I was sitting on press row, and I remember Coach Maestri was sitting on press row too, and he jumped over the scores table to hug, the team when we finished.
I remember Brigham Young was huge. They were 6'10", 6'11". We played well. We play Alabama the second game, and of course, they beat us in the last minute or whatever it was. And they had Derek McKee, who then was declared ineligible, and they had a forfeit. And of course, we got that paycheck. So it was just an electric time, great basketball.
Just sort of in awe, for our team to go ahead and be competing at that high of a level. And, we knew we were going to get into the tournament. But to go ahead and to win the first round game against BYU, which was really good that year, it was just a dream.
Well, that team was an unusual dynamic of a bunch of people. We called it like a pot of jambalaya because we had people we signed, we had transfers from Tulane, we had some junior college people, we had a transfer from LSU. So it was a dynamic of everybody just kind of coming together, and they gelled. And everybody had a role, and everybody participated in their role. And then that's why we were so good.
And I think that really fed into another decade plus of success for the coaches that followed, because you had something that you could look back on and say, this is how special it can be here. There's no reason why we can't win. And for UNO Athletics, I don't think a lot of the success that we've had would have happened on the Division I level without that team doing what it did.
Just a special collection of guys, and it's really strange that that's the only team that ever posted an NCAA victory in the school's history, because they had some really good teams after that with Tim Floyd in particular and Tick Price that clearly were good enough to win games in the NCAA tournament. It just didn't happen for whatever reason. So we're still going back to that 85-86 team as the benchmark because of winning 26 regular season games, earning a 7th seed, and winning an NCAA game.
I think about it as it was yesterday. It was an unbelievable year. We had a lot of, our team comprised of a bunch of great athletes, a bunch of great, people. We came together as a team, and back then it was, in my opinion, yesterday, but it was a long time ago. We really glued, and we came together as one team, and everybody had a role on the team. And, of course, when you have like a Liddell Eccles, Ronnie Grandison inside, I was, pretty much, a passer and fed those guys the ball. And, a lot of times, of course, they would slack off and double team, and then that's where I ended up picking up my points. But generally on that team, I was an assist, leader. I went ahead and handled the ball a lot, and of course, I sort of tried to control them because a lot of times they'd want to get out and just go, and I sometimes pull them back and set it up. But it was a fabulous year. Coach Dees was a great coach. He was a perfect coach for the team that we had. Again, a bunch of great athletes. Came together at the end, and and you know, wasn't the 5-star blue chip players, you know, all on the team, but we were good enough to go ahead and to compete at that high level. I didn't care about the accolades. You know, I was a big deal down in Florida and all state and everything, and that was high school. But I knew coming out to a college program that was as, you know, as successful as UNO at the time, that I was just going to contribute. And for me to go ahead and have a career of 4 years out there like I did, it was sort of like a dream for me. You know, it was one of those things that, you know, I scored because, you know, I had the ability to do that at times, and I did, you know, I enjoyed passing the ball, and I had some great, you know, I could go ahead and with Liddell on a fast break, I could throw the ball up anywhere near the whole backboard, and he'd go get it. He made me look good, you know. But it was a privilege to play out there. I enjoyed the university had a very good feel, and we had an enrollment of 18,000 at the time when I was out there. It was a little different than it is right now, but you know, there's no reason why it can't get back to there. There is a bunch of competition in town that you're dealing with, whether it be Tulane, whether it be the Pelicans, but it's one of those things, you know. If you have a good schedule and you're playing good teams and you have a good team itself and you're winning, you know, people come out and see you, you know. So it was back then. It was really special. You know, right outside of graduating, I took over a company from Sandy Weiner, who was really influential early in my life. I helped go ahead and teach his son how to play basketball a little bit, and he helped me get into this business where I had Pop-A-Shots, the basketball machines, way back, if you remember. And that sort of led into the video poker industry that's in Louisiana now. It's been here for, you know, 30 years. And I just built it. I slowly, you know, gained a location, started doing service work, met a guy by the name of John Georges, who I became partners with. We, in 1999, we purchased Lucky Coin from Bob Nims, and you know, really it's history since then. I mean, you know, we've bought and acquired a bunch of other companies, video gaming companies in the area. We've stayed busy and continuing to you know, our company grow. We sell, you know, pool tables, hot tubs in the front. We still do all the gaming and amusement business. And then, you know, about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I went ahead and opened this first location, Fat Boys Pizza. And I didn't open it with any intention except to have a little pizza place in Old Metairie. And it really just, it took off. You know, it was, I did bring in the proper people to you know, to show us how to, you know, make the best pizza with the best product. You know, I've been in business for a while, so majored in marketing, so I sort of knew how to market it a little bit. But you know, I've been so blessed. It's taken off. It's grown. We have you know, 3 locations now. We'll have another 4 by the beginning of next year. So we'll have you know, 7 locations. It's fun. You know, I look at it as really a competitive or a challenge. I've always been like that, you know, with basketball and everything. But this is a little different. It's a business challenge, and you know, I'm very aggressive. You know, I've sought out the proper people to come in and really manage it and help me grow with it. It's been really fun.
Gabe genuinely embraces people and finds a way to make them his friends. He's done that so many years now, and even at his restaurant here, he's befriended all the Saints top brass. They come in here frequently and patronize and buy food here, either eating in or taking out, which they do frequently. And he's built those relationships, so none of it surprises me. You know, from the very start, you know, with the amusement company and with his original venture, Pop-A-Shot, which was a very successful basketball game shooting entity, to where he's come into the restaurant business and working with John Georges over the years in all of his enterprises. None of it surprises me. He's just blossomed like a rose and sprouted his wings and flown, which, by the way, he can never do on the basketball court.